this way, and I'm pointing to Matt.
You're in control. You are the master.
No, you're not.
Wait, well, I want to see. I want to see if I could. Yeah, you get bigger when I do it now. That's kind of crazy.
That's cool. We might have to do an episode like that.
Yeah, we should. That should be like a Halloween episode. I don't know, some game show thing. I think. Oh, Matt, that should be the game show setting. That's how we do it. Yeah.
Yeah, we can play around with that setting.
That's it. Yeah, no, definitely, 100%. We're gonna have Matt as the show host or something. I think.
Yes,
I think that's
yes, work. Price of Right style.
Yeah, we'll have some like movie contest between all of us. We'll have to figure it out. We have to figure out what to put out and like write something down on paper and figure something out. Oh, and Matt, we still have to do our egg challenge, man. The cool hand. I know.
I'm not ready for that. No. I am ready to do. I'm ready to eat the 50 eggs, but I'm not like my mindset for it is not ready still at the same time.
Oh, I eat eggs all the time. You know what? Actually, to be honest, I was about to eat some eggs during this podcast, so I'm ready. I'm preparing. I am getting prepared. I'm working on this challenge.
We should be good and live now.
Yeah, no, we're live.
I'm see sorry. Everybody. We were just bullshitting around. No, welcome, one and all gentlemen, scholars, ladies, boys, girls, everyone, to BatYard's finest production. I am the current host for today, Jerry, your Green Lantern from OWA, and next to me,
what's up? I am Matt from Gotham. How you guys doing?
I'm Josh from Metropolis. I was confused because you pointed at me. I was like, wait, which one's next to you?
On my screen, I'm in the middle. So
yeah, no, you are in the middle. You are in the middle. But like, it's fine. Everything's fine.
Pointing's a habit. And as always, welcome to BatYard's finest, where tonight we're going to talk about everything microscopic and cellular. But before we get into that, we're going to get into our usual segment, BS, Batman, Superman, pop culture news. But this time we're going to have an Easter edition because we all did stuff for Easter.
Sure we did.
And Passover for you, Jewish viewers. Sorry, I'm eating.
I'm eating too.
My screen froze with Josh having a giant chunk of like egg in his mouth.
I'm preparing for Cool Hand Luke. Yeah, go ahead.
So this past weekend, I haven't posted any pictures on our Instagram yet, but I was in New York and I finally got to meet Matt, and it was super cool. We went to Coney Island. We got scammed, had some fun.
Man. Yep.
And I forgot to show this like 3 fucking episodes ago, but this was a birthday present I bought myself like 2 years ago from Limited Run Games.
Oh, was that Scott Pilgrim? Oh, yeah.
It's a Scott Pilgrim like physical case, and it is the sickest thing I've ever bought. It was $120, and it was worth every single penny because it's a suitcase that's just got a whole bunch of really nice and cool shit in it. And then I wonder if I can get it on camera. It might be kind of hard.
Oh, shit. Do they play the music? What's the song? What's the song they play?
Yeah. I'll post up a video later because I've been bragging about this to a whole bunch of people and still haven't showed
That's
off.
Awesome. That's awesome.
And then in major news, I don't know if anyone has. I know I have because I want Amber Heard to just be dragged through the absolute mud. But she, in the defamation case between her and Johnny Depp, things are going in Johnny's favor, and she now has to show proof that she donated the money from their divorce to a charity. And if she doesn't, I forget the repercussions of what's going to be happening. But basically, she's done. And hopefully she loses her contract with Warner Brothers like they did to Johnny in his role of Fantastic Beasts.
Yeah, Warner Brothers is in some trouble with their DC Universe actors because, Amber Heard's being, dragged going through all this, and she's Mira in the Aquaman movies, and they already filmed that movie, so she's gonna be in the second movie, and then they're having the problems with Ezra Miller at that point with him throwing a chair at like a 26-year-old at a bar in Hawaii. I guess this is more news. This is just more information that Ezra Miller is not the greatest person.
What? Wait.
So I don't know. That's all the information I know. It seems like Matt has a little bit more than I do.
No. I just want to ask questions. Like I want to know, like, who's the 26-year-old he was thrown at? Like, it was a woman, man.
Wait, what, Matt?
Wait, I'm trying to figure out like what kind of like gender it was. A woman, a man. What were they having issues about?
It was a woman. It was a woman. I don't know all the details, but I just know that.
Oh God.
Ezra Miller is probably kaput.
It's like,
but they already filmed the Flash too. They already filmed that Flash movie.
Okay, so reshoots.
He's gonna be in it. No, they're fucked.
I don't care.
The people that they put their cards in, Ezra Miller and Amber Heard, they like put their chips to the wrong people. That's why they should have put their cards to Henry Cavill. He hasn't done anything fucked up yet. You know, he's
they
he's the
booted him with no fault.
He's the Witcher. And he's been doing a good job as the Witcher, from what I've
he's doing awesome.
Heard people say.
He's a good actor, and he does a lot of charity runs. Like he seems like an actual decent person, and it's like a shame that like that's the person that they drop. Like what the fuck? Anyway.
Oh, I did have one other thing of news. Well, two things of news. I haven't had a chance to read it yet, but I finally picked up issue 6 of DC versus Vampires.
Nice.
And the cover art for it looks really cool. And I hope who is in this issue is actually there and is a major plot point. And then I also saw that, Matt, you're going to actually like this one, that Love, Death, and Robots just got renewed for its 3rd season.
Fuck yeah. Where are they? I don't know what they're going to go with this season. There's
Who knows?
So much.
So but that's all the BS I had.
I just wanted to get into the discussions. Like, so what exactly did you do in New York? Like when you were here, in the city? And I know you and Matt met up. I wasn't in New York. I was in a different state, so I wasn't able to do the BatYard finest, meetup party. But there will be another time. But yeah, get into that a little bit.
It wasn't much that we did. We just kind of walked around the city. We went to Coney Island, and I got Matt to face his fear of heights on a ride. He hated every minute of it.
It didn't work because it was, I forget, what's the name of it again?
It's something spin.
The Cyclone. No. That was the other ride. That was the roller coaster up.
It was some
stupid
spinny ride.
You know the boat? You know the boat rides that they go up and down? Like it goes.
Yeah, okay.
It's kind of like that setup, but like it's set up on roller coaster tracks, and at the same time it rotates you. At the same time, yeah.
That sounds like sickening. I feel like I would throw up. That doesn't even sound like fun.
Every time it gets faster and faster. The rotation gets faster. The speed of the roller coaster going up and down gets faster, and yeah, I was not happy about it at all.
I don't mind heights on roller coasters, but that just sounds like it would make me queasy more than a heights thing.
Every time I try to open my fucking eyes, it was always me pointing straight up or me pointing fucking down. It was either one, and I was like, I'm not winning with this. I'm gonna stay put.
How was your stomach what was your stomach like on that ride? Were you getting like sick, or was it just like this sucks? Like mentally?
For me, it was more like I'm afraid of heights. I don't want to be up here. I was making myself nervous and horrible, so that's all the buildup in my stomach was. Just nerves. And just I kind of wanted to throw up at one point because I was like, I don't want to be here anymore. I don't want to be here anymore. Meanwhile, Jerry's over there laughing his ass off. He's right next to me. Meanwhile, our friend Steve is trying to reach for another egg to eat for the day.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah, was it? I don't know. I feel like I'd be more sick on that ride than scared. Like that's what it sounds like to me.
No, me. Yeah, I was chickening. I was gonna chicken off. I was gonna like run away and sit with our friend Billy, but like I was like, I saw Steve. I saw Jerry was online. Then Steve's like, "What are you doing, Mateo? You put basically like you're a bitch." Just look at me. And gets online with Jerry. So I'm like, I got online. I got peer pressured on.
Where did you guys like officially meet up in New York? Like when was Coney Island? You met
we met up at Jerry's hotel. That's in Times Square.
Oh, so
we
you
met up
so
at
you
Times Square.
Yeah.
We had lunch, me, Crispy, and our friend Billy. We walked around Times Square for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then we hopped on the train for a friggin' hour. I didn't know Coney Island was an hour away. Fun fact. I have never taken public transportation until New York.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, I've never ridden the bus. The only other time I've ridden the subway, I was in D.C., but I was 10 years old. So I was like,
that counts.
This is fucking weird as hell. What is this?
This was my second time being on a subway. So
you guys took the subway in New York?
Yeah, so that's the only way the only easiest way to get to Coney Island.
Yeah.
Is to take the subway.
I never been on the subway in New York, so I never experienced that.
It's really confusing because when you try to listen,
but it's confusing.
Yeah,
because you listen to it and it's just like
you're coming up here,
and that's what you get.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, man. Where am I? And I'm like, why? Like, good thing Coney Island's like the last spot on our train, so we just got off there. And I don't know where Times Square was for us when we came back. It was only what's it called? Hold on, got too many things up here. We got stupid email. I'm trying to read Big Booty Dandy.
No.
It was only 13 miles away, public transportation at the time because of the stops. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
But it wasn't that long of stops, though.
And then what happened next on Coney Island was completely my fault. So we started playing the carnival game. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's play it. This is going to probably be the only time because I never go to carnivals or play carnival games. I was like, fuck it. Let's play. So we played and we stayed there for like 2 hours playing. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
The thing that was some shit about this thing was the guy said, oh, here's free play cards, like one free game. And it's like, all right, you get 2 shots for the game. And that was it as the freebie. And I'm like, okay. I don't want this. I actually handed mine back. The guy forced it back in my hand.
Yeah, so we got played. Carney.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Dude, the guy
not my proudest moment, but I'm glad I enjoyed it with one of our co-hosts. Wherever I'm pointing to.
No, that's cool that you guys met up. But did you guys when you first saw each other in person, did it look like, oh yeah, this is exactly what I pictured you? I mean, obviously we're doing a FaceTime thing now, so I don't know how different it would be.
It was like a red carpet reveal. I was like, this is finally happening.
Yeah.
Because we've been talking about it. God, Crispy, how long have we been talking about meeting up? The last 4 years?
Yeah. Yes, we have. With different groups too. We all did, but we've been discussing the meetups with different groups. Yeah. And then we finally fucking did.
But I definitely told Crispy when you guys come to Nashville, I'm gonna show you guys the best eating places, and I'm taking y'all to the movies so you can have a movie and a beer at the same time.
I was sneaking.
I would like to go down to you. That would be pretty cool. That would be a different experience for sure.
But the first thing Jerry said to me, though, that wasn't, hi, I'm like, can't believe to see you here, blah, blah. He just looks at me and just says, I can just look down at you, Crispy. He's a few inches taller than me. And I'm just like, fuck you.
Yeah, how tall are you, Jerry? I like, that's not even like a
think-
question. Like something I think about, I guess. Like, are you 6'2"? You look like
I
you'd be a
think I'm
tall guy.
6'2".
Yeah, okay.
My dad is 6'1", and I'm taller than my dad.
Oh man, okay. So
But
you're
it was-
exactly what I imagined. Exactly the same height. Yeah, I got it right.
But it
And,
was New York was definitely cool. I can definitely say like meeting Crispy, that was one of the highlights of the trip. Meeting Crispy and our friend Billy, because that was that was cool. We were talking.
Don't forget the
shit and
surprise.
joking. Yeah, I got to meet Steve too. It was the whole trip was fun. I did enjoy myself.
So where are the highlight stops? Like, where did you guys stop besides Coney Island?
We went to the Nintendo store for us, our group. We went to Nintendo and Eminem's place, and we went to New York City McDonald's.
Nintendo store was definitely like the big highlight because I didn't know New York had a Nintendo store because our friend Billy was saying like, oh yeah, we have a Nintendo store. I'm like, there's a Nintendo store? No, there's not. And he was like,
I didn't know either.
We went in there and it's like, boom. It's just like Nintendo like properties and franchises everywhere.
Yep.
My shirt's
Wall-to-wall
downstairs,
Nintendo.
but I bought a Donkey Kong shirt. They had Super Mario, just like a bunch of really cool shit that I was like, man, I wish we had this back home because now I'm going to miss it.
I didn't even know they had that in New York. Is that new? Like newer? Like,
I feel like it's been like within the last few years, probably it's been new.
Is that in Times Square? Like, whereabouts in Times Square?
It's on 8
Rockefeller Plaza.
Okay. I haven't really been to the stores around Rockefeller Plaza. Isn't FAO Schwartz pretty close to there? That toy store?
Yeah, I think so. I think we might have passed it, but we were like the whole time we were just cracking jokes and
we're just going
basking in the moment.
That's awesome.
Oh good God.
That's really cool. I'm sorry I had to miss it, but I was doing Easter shenanigans.
Dude, we were planning to like FaceTime you the whole day, but we just kept on nonstop going. There was
I get it. I get why you didn't. I like kind of I was like waiting for it, but I knew why. I was like, you guys are doing your thing. You guys are keeping the ball rolling. I didn't want to stop you guys, so I understood. I know how it is.
Nonstop. It was just.
I definitely
I get it.
To tell his mom I'm coming to Sunday dinner.
Oh, that would have been great. That would have been hilarious.
And I was gonna try my damnedest to find another microwave box to bring in. Be like, I brought a welcoming present.
You could probably find that in the dumpster or something, and especially in New York. I'm sure there's some microwave box somewhere.
So, the funny thing is, like, we have our friend Steve that came. We met up with us like around like 3:00 before we went to Coney Island, and he literally just got out of work and out of a gym session, and he drove all the way down to the city from where he lives. And his usual meal that he does is that he eats eggs, and everywhere we went, he had to take a picture of him and his container of eggs.
Oh man, I could do the same thing. I could do the same pose right now.
Here's another picture on the subway.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Is he trying to get his gains? Is he trying to get the gains? Is that what he's doing?
Yes. That's his thing. He eats at least 10 during the day.
I don't eat 10, but I eat my eggs. Not 10 though.
Yeah, so like that was Steve. Oh my God, that was just funny as hell. Oh my God, Stephen Latre.
Yeah, that was so. One of my friends is obsessed with Steve, and he just didn't stop talking about him until we got back.
Oh my God.
Oh,
the city was
Stevie.
New York was cool. I'm glad I experienced the city when I was young, because if I went when I was any older, I would have hated it.
Yeah, I get that. Did you experience a nightlife at all, Jerry, while you're there?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that
it
was
was.
interesting.
It was. I thought the daytime was interesting. Nighttime was much more interesting.
Oh yeah, there's a lot more pot like trucks now than I expected down there. Oh my god. There's at
I
least
was pointing out
every minute was like five every minute I saw.
I was pointing out to Matt like all the weed trucks, that marijuana trucks that was just passing by, and he was like, "What the fuck?"
I remember
Every 2 seconds.
I remember seeing a few last time we were there, Matt.
Really?
It probably wasn't as many as that, but I remember we saw a couple.
There was a bus that was literally for getting high on. There's like a 4-seater, it was like a.
Is there video games in it? Like video games and shit? Huh.
Nah, this one just had like race cars. No. This one was like a traveling one. It would take you places, but it had 4 seats. And it had like race car seats in it. They strap you in it. You just get high in those 4 seats so you don't get like fucked up moving around. And they drove you to wherever your destination was. It was like a taxi, but you're high.
By the way, happy 420, everyone.
Happy 420.
You know what that means.
Partaking of that, we will be sticking to our whatever's in the cup because you never know.
Is that Mr. Beast? What the fuck is that?
Yeah, so Mr. Beast has a burger joint, and I ordered it, and he gave me a free cup. So I'm like, okay, Mr. Beast, you should definitely sponsor us.
Oh man!
Oh my god!
Is that any good as burgers? I never had it. I was tempted one time. I don't think I ever had it.
The first time I had it, it was pretty good because it operates out of like a ghost kitchen kind of thing. But the last time I ordered it, it was all right. Definitely not as good as the first time I had it because the first time it was like the burger was good and like toasted and seasoned. The meat was juicy. But now it's just like, I don't know if you guys have Sonic up there, but it's like
we
do.
We do.
Okay.
We're not around here anymore. Poughkeepsie, we don't have it anymore.
Well, yeah, but it's in New York. There's one in Albany. It's basically Dairy Queen, if you don't know what that is.
I've never had a burger from Dairy Queen. I only go for ice cream.
Really?
Yeah, that's basically what I do. Their burgers are all right. They're pretty good. I don't get it too often, but their ice cream's the thing to get. Did you just get the Mr. Beast burger just now, or is that an old?
No, that cup's old.
Oh, okay. I was about to say.
I think like 6-7 months old.
This is a reusable cup, basically. That's how good these cups are.
Yeah, they're solid. Mr. Beast is a billionaire or something. Oh,
he's giving people free Lamborghinis and Ferraris. Please sponsor us. And I will sing praises of your channel, everything you do.
We'll only drink out of your cups forever.
I will mass produce these in a sweatshop in China for all you want.
Including, don't forget his chocolate he's putting out too. So he's putting out different chocolates.
Golden ticket.
I'll only eat his chocolates if he sponsors. Chicken fried steak sandwiches from DQ is bomb. Thank you, Dennis.
If it's not from the South, it's not a real fried steak.
I have something to say, but I'm chewing. So someone talk.
All right. So
what else?
How was everyone's Easter though? Jerry, well, you were in New York City for Easter too. So how did your Easter on New Year's?
Wait, hold on. Before you get into that, I just want to say we all know what Happy 420 means. It means Hitler's birthday. That's what 420 means.
What?
Yeah, Hitler was born on 420.
Yeah.
Was he? I never knew that.
Yeah. I just wanted to mention that just to put some dirt in people's eye. But okay, go ahead.
So we celebrate. Oh God, that's bad. That's bad. That's really
my
bad.
Easter in the city, it was cool. I went to a singing diner called Stardust. really different experience. I've never had like I've never been to a place where the staff sings. It was an experience. I definitely enjoyed it more than I thought I would, because I was like, oh, like they're gonna sing to me, it's gonna suck. But they, like, for people, still taking like, singing and, like acting classes, they did pretty good. Like if they did like an amateur show somewhere, I'd probably go.
Is that the diner that we got the videos of Latrey talking about Steve?
Yeah, that's that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Doesn't look bad inside.
What else?
Did they force you to sing too? Like when they gave you orders and stuff? Did they force you to do anything? I went to this one ice cream shop. It was called like Show Tunes or Showtimes or something. Ice cream, and it was in Long Beach Island in New Jersey. And literally, we went there like 3 consecutive years, and every time they picked me to like say something. You had to like sing or dance or do something stupid. And literally 3 years in a row, I always got picked. It was always me, and I was like, "Why? Why is it always me?"
Oh, the whole clan of Lawtons, they pick you.
I'm sorry, Big Booty Dandy. I just wanted to mention that. I'm sorry.
Crispy, how was your Easter with Nikki?
I went to Walmart.
Yeah, why did you do that? I saw you watching Space Jam in Walmart. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah. So my day went like, I went to the gym, then we had Easter dinner, and then fuck you. So we went to the gym, then Easter dinner, and Nick was over. He sat in this one chair that like had a bunch of wires like wrapped around the leg, and he moved it over so it became a tight like basically a tripwire, and it was attached to his phone too. So when I got up, I tripped over the cable, made the phone fly because his dumbass didn't look at the cords, and it broke his.
Sorry, I was
phone
laughing
screen.
at Dennis's comment. I was just okay. Go ahead. Sorry.
So yeah, I don't want to sing that at all. I'm sorry. No, Dennis.
Right, go ahead, man.
So yeah, so the
Are you
cable
making a
went
tight
flying.
rope out of phone cords? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, so charger cables, and I tripped over it. His phone went flying onto the floor and cracked his screen. So we had to drive all the way to the Walmart to get his phone fixed. We had to be there at this was like around like 4:30, and
why did you go with him? Why did you go? Just an adventure?
He forced me to go with him because he didn't have a phone anymore, so we needed a phone to make sure if anything does happen, he would have a phone. So yeah, we're walking around the mall, and
the Walmart people have a phone.
Walmart.
Yeah, they have.
Nicholas. I know, but it's Nicholas.
No.
I did actually. I was told to go.
Why the fuck would I want to go to Walmart on Easter?
Well, I was forced to go.
It was the ultimate way to spite Nikki.
So yeah, we walked around in Walmart. We ended up finding the TV sections, and we just like, well, first we found the Pac-Man machine. We're playing Pac-Man, Miss Pac-Man, and then we turned around and looked at TVs, and it was a Space Jam. So we just sat in front of the Space Jam, and we hired the TV on the one that had the best screen, and just watched it. And this old lady hit on me too. This like old lady in her 80s. And then she walked on by us. I was like, what the fuck? And this got weird.
What did she say? What did she say? Did she try to get a teddy bear hug? Was it what
it was like, I kind of felt like goods? It.
Yeah.
No, it was kind of like that. It was kind of like the way
candies.
Wait. I know the perfect thing. Oh, wait a minute. This is gonna be an off-screen thing, so people, it's not gonna make sense to you.
Oh God!
All right.
So yeah, so the lady walked up and she tried to do that thing like, do you remember me from the Skechers store? She's trying to act like I was another person she saw at a Skechers store, like the day before, and talked to me and all that stuff. And she like had a conversation with me, and she gave me like a backstory of this other person that supposedly she talked to at a Skechers store that looked like me. and she's just like, "Oh, you look the same like you," and all that stuff. And I'm like, and this other
You
stuff.
just went with it and just said yes.
I would love to, but then she said I was supposed to get married at the same time, so I was like,
Okay, never mind. Only if it's
no.
only if it's an attractive Brazilian girl, you say that. You say
Oh,
yes.
good God. Oh, Jerry. No. No.
Oh, no.
No.
Oh man.
No.
Well, there you go, Matt. You got some prospects. You're ready. Your show ready. You're ready. You're ready for the 80-year-old sketcher ladies.
You should have took her up on it, so then she could hook you up with her hot granddaughter.
Yeah. Or you hook up with her, wait till she dies and get her inheritance, and then take it.
That's fucked up. That's very fucked up.
That's what Lex Luthor did in Superman Returns for some fucking reason. Oh my God.
Or you wait for her to die and then you hit on her daughter. And
that's exactly what I just said.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Fuck, I wasn't paying
attention. because it's your idea, I'll take it up.
Fuck you. You're just mad that I have good ideas. You just don't want to take me up on them.
Okay, Mister. How's your Sunday? How's your Easter?
My Easter weekend started out as cousin Tony, who's been a friend of the podcast, has been on. So we went out Friday night. We danced with some girls. We got Tony dancing. And then I was hungover Saturday morning, and I was like, Marty was telling me there's some 5K, which is basically my stepdad, just to make it terms simpler. Anyway, I was hungover. Marty was telling me there's some 5K going on at like 8 o'clock. And I mean, I got up around like 7 or 8 o'clock. And then I was like, well, I'm just going to go for a jog. And it was 9 p.m. 9 a.m. at this point. So I started to go for a jog at 9 a.m. And then right when I got to the beach, I was just going to go to the beach, run back to the house just to like sweat out the alcohol from that morning. Right when I got to the beach, there was a marathon race going on. And since I started like an hour later, by the time I got to the beach, they were already there. So then I was like, okay, I guess I'm doing this. So I'm doing this. I guess I'm doing it. So I thought it was going to be like 3 miles. I was like, yeah, I could do 3 miles. And then, 3 miles later, there was like another route. I was like, oh, I guess we're just running to the next beach. Okay, I could do that. And then I was like, oh, wait, I guess we're running to this other viewpoint, this like bird sanctuary thing. And I was
God.
I was like, oh, wait, this is not then. And then I realized after the fact, I don't know, probably like 6-7 miles in that I had to go back to the starting point, basically where I started from. And like all in total, I mean, I didn't do the full marathon. I mean, I would like to say I did, but I started like way after. So I just kind of jumped into the marathon. I did 17 miles in total. And then,
oh my God.
It was great. I was having my runner's high. I was set up without knowing I was set up. It was like I set myself up like I couldn't have done it any better if I actually knew I was going to do a marathon. Obviously, like I could have trained and stuff, but like just like with my gear and my headphones and everything, I was like, it was just perfect setup. And I was listening to like a bunch of songs, like the Rocky theme, like a bunch of different stuff. It was like, oh, it just got me going. And so I got in the finish line. I got the shirt. They gave me free shirt for the 2022 marathon.
Okay.
So
Nice.
I got that. And right after the run, I jumped in the ocean to cool down, and it was fucking cold, but it felt awesome. Like I was like, oh, just like put a shock to the system.
Free cryotherapy.
Yeah. And then Tony and I went out again that night, and we were dancing. We got Tony dancing. Tony has the move. Dead. I'll show you one of Tony's moves. He does this. He does the fist bump. He does a little shaking of the dice. It was good. Good.
If it works, it works.
It was good.
That's good.
I got mad. I got Matt dancing out there one time. We got Matt dancing out there. We just got to show him Swingers, the movie, not anything
Oh
else,
my God.
not the whatever Matt looked up online. Swingers, the movie from 1994.
not the lifestyle.
Yeah.
But this is a movie.
I was literally
This is a
trying
film.
to find the
This is a
cast for
film.
the movie, and I typed in Swingers, and I forgot to put the movie, and I forgot to do that, and it went.
Oh no!
And I just got pictures of Swingers, and as Josh walks back into the room from the bathroom,
Yeah.
he says, "What the fuck you looking at?" I thought I was looking up the movie. I don't know.
All dudes. They're all dudes with their, with their wang
it
swinging
was.
around.
I was typing in the.
I was like, man, what the fuck? I didn't know you went
I
that
was
way,
trying
man.
to
I
find the
didn't know.
movie, and that's what
Whole
happened.
time. 20 years, I didn't know.
No, I was trying to find the movie character.
Oh man, it was good though. It was good.
Well, I'm glad everybody had a good Easter. You guys ready to get started with the short that we have?
Yeah, let's proceed. Oh, wait. I just got one more thing. April 18th, which was a couple days ago, was the anniversary of Superman. The first debut of Superman, the first comic book issued. For some reason, it says it was published in April 18th, 1938, and the cover date says June 1938. So I don't know. I get kind of confused. It's either April or June, or maybe it's both. Who the hell knows? But I just wanted to show my reprint of the comic book. Well, I had it in my hand. Here it is. Issue number 1 of Superman comic book. These are super fun to read. And I was thinking, I know we discussed, I just wanted to mention this before we get into it. I know we mentioned maybe doing the audio for like a radio broadcast of Superman episode or something. I was thinking maybe to switch it up a little bit differently, we just take the dialogue from the comic book, like one of the old comic books, and then like do a radio show like that. So it's like something that's not been recorded before. So I think that would work in that style. Yeah, that would be super fun. And we could even do like, I don't know, we could do other characters too. Like we could do Batman and Superman. I feel like we definitely should do Superman though. Like that should be the first one, and then we'll make it we'll make it something. I think that'll be really cool.
Damn it, you're asking me to read.
Yes, Matt.
God damn it.
We'll have it like pre-recorded, and we'll add sound effects. We'll like make it. We'll do it up. We'll make it good. We'll make it professional. We'll add I'll take the sound board of all the Superman radio shows and like put that in. Like we'll make it sound authentic. So I think that'll be fun. Go ahead.
I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, I think that'll be super fun. And we do like a radio show like style thing, and like it has to be sounding all tinny and stuff. I feel like that'll be
everyone
great.
get your 50s voices ready, okay? 50 voices.
Yeah, well, actually like
gotta
more
find
like
some
40s.
Fucking Kellogg's Pep to go with it.
Yeah. Oh, we gotta eat it. Yes.
We gotta make the fucking peach
fine.
rocket.
We gotta
Jerry.
make the what? Yeah. What is it? The world gig, the blueberry world gig.
Jerry, did you ever seen that photo of Josh?
Peach pyramid.
Jerry, did you ever send that picture of the Josh from Coney Island?
Oh no, I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, you have to show me. Show me.
Yeah, I'll send it when we get finished.
Okay.
All right.
It's not cereal, but it's something. It reminds Jerry.
All right.
So for the short, we watched Cells at Work, Ep.7, Cancer. I think it was. I don't remember Cancer Cells. I know it had something to do with cancer.
I think it is Cancer Cells.
I'm gonna give this one to Crispy. So take it away with a brief synopsis.
Okay, so this episode, well, technically we should have watched episodes 6 and 7 to get us where we were, but this episode in 7 picks up basically that they have discovered that there is a cancer cell that disguises itself as a standard cell in the body that they have to defeat and basically kill off, but he keeps on. But so this little plan he made was basically to make himself multiply and clone himself so he can spread throughout the body, because he was tired of being mistreated over the years of his growth inside the body because everyone made fun of him and said like he wasn't a real cell, that he should basically die. And he said, "Screw you guys, I'm taking over." And the three main important cells that defend the body, well, technically, yeah, one's the white blood cell. Yeah, the important immune cells. One's called the white blood cell, and then there you got the kill cells. And what's her abbreviation?
NK.
NK. Wait, was it
NK.
NK? Okay, so she's another. Basically, she's kind of like the kill cell, but she's a little bit different. And basically, they had to defeat the cancer cell at the end, but they end up getting help from the other cells that actually help fight off diseases inside the body as well to finish them off. But if you see from like episode 6, actually, you see if you cut out, there's like basically a little like a little baby Looney Tunes moment with the cells. And after that, it cuts back into the real show and shows you the beginning, like a little bit of the beginning of like the cancer cells mistreatment and how there's a point in the 7th episode where the white blood cell saves him from something happening of like one of his clones trying to kill him. And they mentioned in the 7th episode where he never thought he was ever going to get like shown respect from another cell in his life until that moment happens, and you don't get to see it in that episode. So there's like we should have watched a little bit like and a half, like 3/4 marker of 6 and 7. They get the full storytell of this, but it's basically showing how cells basically try to attack the cancer cell and try to defeat it before it started to spread throughout the whole body. That's basically this episode. And I'm not gonna lie, this cancer cell is a big deal in season 2 if you enjoyed his character.
What did you think about it, Matt?
I enjoyed this show. I like Cells at Work. So to me, this is one of my favorite ones because as much as you think like these characters are gonna be like you see these characters throughout the season like doing all kinds of crazy stupid shit and killing all kinds of diseases. But seeing them all have to work together and getting defeated at the same time as they're trying to defeat this one cell is kind of like shocking, but it's nice seeing them all come together at the same time trying to fight it, plus additional help from the others. And I love how there's always that maid cell that shows up. You never think she's a murderous freaking cell out of nowhere. She's very kind-hearted, but her group of cells are like cleaver happy freaking killers that will jump at the first second to chop things up in 2 seconds. I love them.
Josh, I'm very curious to know what you thought about this.
Okay. I didn't hate it. I'll tell you that.
Yes.
Okay.
I liked it. I think now from Matt's explanation of the backstory, I feel like I guess I would have got more out of it watching the other episode where he's a regular human. No, well, white blood cell in disguise. I guess he's a robot in disguise. And I mean, I picked up the pieces. I thought it was pretty interesting. I like this design. I kind of like this backstory where he's like a kid and he's with his brother, and he's basically what gives you why do we have to die? Basically, like, you know, we still have a purpose. You know, yada yada yada. It gets into like a philosophical like lens of, you know, their importance, and they're still kind of like living beings. And in like in his context, he's a 7-year-old child, and his brother gets like murdered in front of him. Or did they take him away, or did they kill him? Like, it was off screen. Okay. Mm-hmm. That's what I figured, but I wasn't sure. I mean, the designs were really cool. I liked how like the other like smaller cancer cells were like basically like zombies. I thought that was a pretty cool concept. I just I guess we'll discuss a little bit more in the next film. But I was curious to like the body itself, I was like, what body are they in? It just kind of looks like a regular town or city. I was just kind of confused on that aspect because I don't know where they are, like whose body they're in. Like in
The thing is,
Osmosis Jones,
they really don't get to
Frank.
that.
They don't.
They really don't
really show the body, but
yeah.
you know, in each episode, you could say it's themed after a person with, you know, insert, you know, condition or you know,
so it could be anyone.
Yeah, so it could be like you know, it's like how people say you never know what somebody goes through unless you walk a mile in their skin. So this, you know, episode obviously was themed, you know, there's a random person whose body is, you know, naturally fighting cancer and won, instead of, you know, they're, you know, they have cancer and they have to go through chemo, radiation, surgery. This is, you know, because it's, I don't quote me on this. I don't know the actual like ratio, but this is, as far as what the episode projected, was one of the few cases where, you know, the body's natural immune system eliminated cancer before it could spread and, you know, wreak, as we all know, severe damage.
Okay. That's what I was curious about. Okay, so it's like kind of a blank slate. I get that. Just the design of the world, it just looked like a regular like Tokyo town. Like that's what I was kind of confused about too. Like it didn't look like I was like inside of like a human body or anything like we're going to talk about in the next film. Mm-hmm. So that's what was kind of confusing. Like the design of the city itself just seemed like a regular basic place. Like it didn't seem like I was actually inside of a human body or anything. I mean, I guess like it's like interpreted like it's the human world, but like I don't know. I like the in between like they did in the next movie.
Okay, so like I get what you're talking about, but if you want to see something like that more, you have to watch the other series called Cells at Work Code Black. That one starts off, you're in a male's body that's overworked. He's an alcoholic. He smokes cigarettes. And you see his bodies in different like locations of his bodies and like decay and like certain stuff is happening. So you got prestige locations, some areas that are more in like destruction and all that stuff.
Does it just look like a regular town? Like that's what I'm interested. Like
it kind of looks more like a regular town, but it's like more organism like stuff is happening with it.
I guess more bioorganic would be the best way to describe it.
Yeah.
Right.
So you get more of a different change instead of like and the Cells at Work is supposed to be more the more standardized, like they don't want to be that much of
more kind of family friendly.
Yeah, family friendly.
All of the blood and killing.
Oh, yeah. Oh, so this is a series that came out after this one? Did it?
Yeah, Code Black came out afterwards.
Okay.
They show you the meaty, the gritty lifestyle in this other body. Basically to show you like what happens when you don't treat your body right. This is what is going on. So that's one season in. Cells at Work, the standard series, is in 2 series. And we do have some close calls in Cells at Work, the standard series. But in Code Black, you get more dramatic shit happening. And we do have the most edgiest fucking shit, like the Jerry, you watched Code Black, did you?
I haven't started Code Black. I watched 2 episodes of it, but I haven't finished. Let's
just say some gentleman and the body needed some blue chew at one moment.
Oh my god!
In the series,
and this is supposed to be for kids, and he needs blue chew.
Black, Code Black is for adults.
But Work is more for kids.
Oh, I thought you meant the opposite.
No.
So
okay,
and Cells at Work, it's funny how like the Cells at Work, the standard series, the roles, the gender roles in the body flip flop, most of them. So all the women are red blood cells, and like most of the women and some men are red blood cells. And majority of the white blood cells are all men that we mostly see in Cells at Work, the standard series. And like the kill and them, they're all male too. But when you go to Code Black, it's gender swapped to that all the males are mostly red blood cells running around with the oxygen, and all the defending cells are all these women that actually do more of the defending of the body.
I'm really glad that you liked this episode because I was worried. I was like, because Crispy told me, he was like, there was another episode that tied into this. I'm like, shit, I forgot because that was.
I kind of figured there was something I missed, but I think I got the basic, especially when it showed a flashback with the two kids. Like I understood that. I just wish the world looked more unique. It's just like this is just a town. Especially like with their like location.
Once you start diving into it.
I get that to a degree, but like I was trying to figure out why did they just make it a basic town, That's what I was curious about.
Because this, like I said, this is kind of, a family-friendly way to get kids into like, oh, how does, blood, pump around, and it makes things very simple to understand in terms of, okay, you have this side where the common cells that do all the producing and everything are, you have your immune system cells, which are the white blood cell, killer T, NK, the macrophages. It shows them and everything they can do, and then it delves deeper into another immune cell that's adept at only handling parasites. But it doesn't show. This does show, death and blood to, I guess, add some dramatic flair. But outside of that, this is like you could show this to like a 10-year-old and, it wouldn't scare them or give them nightmares.
Yeah, that's what I was curious about when you guys are saying this is for kids, because like the cancer people look pretty disturbing. Like I wouldn't show this to like anyone less than 10 years old, like double digits at least.
Yeah.
And then the zombie characters, like the zombie cancer cells, like I wouldn't show this to like a 5-year-old, You're like, yeah, this is for kids. It's good. Okay.
One story about this, I just stumbled upon it because I was like, cells at work, this looks kind of goofy. So I was just bored on Netflix. I was like, why not? I'll watch it. And I'm sitting here watching. I'm like, oh crap, this is like, this is the Magic School Bus on the next level, because in depth into like everything. They talk about hemorrhaging, like what happens with severe blood loss, like a high fever, when you have a staph infection, parasites, like you name it, it's in here. And it explains very well like the individual job of I'm not going to say every cell, but some like very important cells, like the primary ones. Yeah, thank you. And I was like, I kind of wish I had this around when I was still taking biochem, because this is like, even to this day, I'm like, okay, this makes absolute sense. And I still go back and watch it. I was like, man, what was the fucking what was the organ or whatever that does insert job that helps, stop certain infections, or what the hell ever. And this was like, I've fallen in love with this series. I haven't finished Code Black or season 2, but just the first season alone, I was like, please let me get more of this, because I thought this was a really good segue into our feature film, because with cancer, it starts off small, and then he wanted to grow into something exponential, which he almost did if it wasn't for all the cells banding together to deal with the threat at hand. And I think this was. Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. Just go ahead. I'll say it afterwards.
Oh, and I was gonna say, this is I personally picked this episode because I have an aunt that had breast cancer several years ago. So, cancer is something that's, I'm always going to hold to my chest. And I think, if you had to explain, cancer to a child, I think this is the start of a segue to explain, what it is and what it's going to do. Because I wasn't a kid when I heard my aunt had breast cancer, but I was still in my early teens. I think I might have been 15, maybe 14. No, probably 15, 16. And I was just like, everybody's like, cancer is like, oh shit, the clock's ticking, what's going to happen, what's going to be done. My aunt did survive it. She's still crazy aunt.
Oh, wow. I was going to ask, but I was.
That's
okay.
good.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
good.
So this is like when I watched it, I was like, okay, this is, it made me feel good inside because I was like, at the end of the day, they won the battle against cancer, which, not everyone does. And I was like, this is, it made me look deeper and reflect, on people who don't always win and the people that do win.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty cool. No, I think I agree with you. Like the more you talk about it, it is like I guess it is like a good introduction for kids. I mean, I would wait till they're double digits for sure.
Yeah,
but,
definitely.
the design of the cancer cell kid when he's like a teenager or whatever was pretty interesting. Like he all looked all jagged up and just like nasty. Like I guess if you imagine like what a individual who's like all the essence of cancer would look like, I mean that's basically what you would picture. And I like I said before, I did like the idea like how the cancer cells were like zombies. I thought that was a cool twist on the whole thing. Like they infect each other and the cancer spreads just like kind of like the zombies, and it's like a pandemic in your in your own body or whatever. So I thought that was cool.
Was there something you wanted to add, Matt?
No, I was gonna say like the way finding this show is kind of like what you did basically, Jerry. Is like I was on Netflix just running around like an idiot, and I was like, oh, cells at work. What's this thing? And I was like, clicked it, and I just fell in love with the series and all that stuff. But I don't have the connection like you have with this episode, though. But I was like just enjoying how like the series went and progressed. And once I found out it was on Funimation, they picked up a second season. I just get going crazy, and they dropped that new series and all that other stuff. And I was just
this is not like a Netflix. This is not like a Netflix original, is it?
No.
Okay.
No, it's not. For a second, it did have a weird the end symbol for Netflix on it for a while, and
Yeah.
Netflix was doing that for a lot. Netflix was doing that a lot with animes,
Yeah.
and I don't think they were knowing what they were doing right because they just kept putting the print on it. And that's when I was like saying like to my other friends that were anime fans, like, yeah, this is a Netflix series. And like, no, it's not. This is a Funimation series or whatever its primary source was. And I'm like, really? Because Netflix shows as an original in a way on it with the end signature. And they're like, nah, it's on this site. And they're dropping season 2 where you're not getting a season 2 until we finish our season 2 and see where it goes on from there and all that junk. And I'm like, oh, okay. That's great, but whatever.
It's kind of annoying.
Yeah, it's
I also
like weird.
wanted to comment on the animation. So the company who did this animation, they are very well known for their style because they have done I can't pull up their full list because that's pretty extensive, but they did some very popular projects that have been picking up more steam recently. Fire Force, another big anime people like, and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. And their animation style is very unique to them because the animation is almost, like it's 3D-ish while still maintaining its 2D form. Crispy, you know exactly what I mean by that.
that sticks out more in JoJo's for me. For this, I really don't see it that much. It's very hidden. It's more of like a 2D for me in this series. But I really love the artwork and all that, the work they do for both series. I enjoy like all the work they do. There's every little detail that they do. It's always popping, or there's something in the background that you can enjoy. But yeah, what Jerry's talking about, the 3D stuff, you have to. It sticks out more in JoJo's. JoJo's is a primary section where you get the 3D style.
How come I feel like we watched that?
JoJo's?
Me and Matt have talked about it, but
yeah,
we haven't. Okay.
Everything evolves.
You guys always talk about it. I'm like, have I seen this? And I just don't remember. I'm like, oh man, was it like
JoJo's is a show that makes you question a lot of things.
Yeah, JoJo is an interesting anime.
I thought you recommended it for some reason. Like I was like, okay, I just heard it.
Not yet. We haven't found a way to bring in JoJo.
It's a hard segue to just recommend to somebody because there's a lot of backstory that you have to know to get to the point of whatever we would recommend.
This is definitely not a show we can just throw you. We cannot throw you into it like we like to do to you. We cannot do that because please don't. The show is like a constant. It's constantly telling the story, and it always backtracks back to an episode or like all this other crap. It's a lot, and it goes backwards to seasons.
What the hell?
You guys can review it, and I'll show up after. How about that?
Yeah, season 6.
One more thing I definitely wanted to say. This is just like a comparison notes between the English dubbing and the original Japanese. So I watched this originally in Japanese, and then I rewatched it in English. I was like, because in Japanese they take a brief moment to explain what every cell is when you see it again, and I was like, oh sweet. When I recommended it, I was like, I didn't think about it in English because they didn't do that, and I was like, that's weird. Why didn't they explain the NK cell, the macrophage, the blood cell, the white blood cell, the killer T cell, just kind of everybody? And I was like, oh, that's a Japanese only thing.
Mm-hmm.
It helps with the flow of the story if you take a break here and there, just so you're like, oh yeah, I remember what that one does. But that's
I noticed that too. Right. It was like, it was just quick, like it was flashing on screen, and I know it was like what was written on, on like the actual screen was in Japanese, and then what was the subtext was in English. So like it flashed really quick, and I tried to read it, and I get like half the information, and then it was gone. I was like, okay, so
yeah, I think that's very interesting. I personally like it because I was like, it's a good way to just kind of make information stick with people, especially when you're dealing with, the complicatedness of, cells and what everything does. Let's see what else. There was something else I wanted.
I'm actually pretty shocked in this episode, though. At the end, we didn't get the platelets. The little platelets. I think that's the next episode. Did we get the platelets? I thought we didn't get the platelets.
Like, we just got to see them, but, that was about it.
Yeah,
because the platelets come in and they're like these little. Basically, it's funny as hell. The platelets are like these little children-style cells, and they come in and they just like do work, and they sing a stupid like this song, and you're like everyone adores them. And if you watch them in Code Black, they're really assholes. They'll yell at you and everything. They're like, hey, get away! We're working here. Yeah, like
they're minions.
Yeah, no, and no,
they're
in the
minions,
regular series, in the regular series, and this series we just watched now, they're like minions, basically, like, and then in Code Black, they're assholes. Like, one's just like, get the fuck out of the road here. We're trying to fix this. Don't you see this collapse here? Someone put the cell wall down so we can get this road fixed. Get over here.
This series is something I know I recommend it to people because, it's funny, it's quirky, and you'd be surprised kind of how quickly you get wrapped up in, the daily life of cells, quote unquote.
Mm-hmm.
because they had an allergy themed episode, and I was like, I should have recommended this for allergy season, but we already kind of passed the first day of spring or whatever.
Don't get me started with allergies. Oh God,
because the
I've been out
allergy
of work for the last 2 days now.
Hilarious. But I was like, you take away something beneficial from everything you see. I think somebody's cooking some onions downstairs because my eyes are just.
Are you getting those allergies?
No, he's allergic to garlic. He's allergic to garlic.
I am allergic to garlic.
Are you? Huh? Isn't garlic and onions like pretty close, like in family? Like they both grow underground, right?
Yeah, something close.
Yeah, they're kind of similar.
One has layers.
So
they both have layers. Fucking garlic has layers. Come on, Matt.
Crispy, do you have any final thoughts and review you would like to say about Cells at Work?
Not like, to me, like, we touched upon like a lot of things in the show that we bounced around the show even past this episode with things. And I will say, like, I'm kind of like, I want to jump into another episode maybe of Cells at Work, maybe like down the road, or maybe go in the Code Black one or two, because just to show a different comparison of the show of like what we just watched now to what the hell happens in Code Black. And it's just a different style and settings to what we know of in this one. So like I probably may throw that down the line at some point, or maybe you, Jerry, may throw that down the line. I don't know. One of us will probably. But I like I said, like I like the animations. The characters are all fun. There's never a dull moment with them, and you always think like the red blood cells is always going to get in trouble, but there's always this like side segments of like other cells in the series. So like it's not a bad series. If you want, like if you get bored in, like we said, like with biology and everything, this is perfect for you to get your interest back into it. So, and right now it's 2 seasons in. We may get a third one, so get ready for it.
Nice. What would you rate this?
What I rate this? Just this episode? For this episode, I don't know. I would say I'll give this one an 8 at least. I'll give this one an 8. It's not one of my. I've seen like both seasons, so like I've jumbled around with like so many episodes. So, but this is probably this is a good episode to see like a bunch of like cells working together more than they usually do. So yeah, I'll give it an 8.
Nice. Josh, what are your final thoughts and reviews?
Before I get into my final thoughts, garlic is a plant that's in the lemon family, and it's closely related to onions. So I just wanted to say that.
That is good to know. I thought you said lemming, but you said lemon. I'm like, what the fuck?
A lemon? Allium. Allium?
Please put that in a sentence, please.
Allium.
Please use
garlic
that
is a plant in the allium family, closely related to onions.
As a definition.
So I just wanted to say that. That they're both bulbs. They're related. Yes. What did I think of this? I basically gave all my thoughts. I think I'd probably get. I mean, after you guys talking about it, I feel like I appreciate it more than I did when I just watched it. I knew what was happening. I understood what was going on, which is a lot more than a lot of other animes that you guys gave me. So I give this a. I feel like I would get more out of it if I seen other episodes. So I don't want to like. It's hard to rate this on its own merit because it's just like I feel like I would just get more information from, watching other episodes. But just for now, I'm just gonna give this I'm gonna give this a 5.5.
Okay. I love Cells at Work. Like I said, it's funny, it's quirky, it's absolutely educational and informative, because I got sucked down the rabbit hole of like does that what this thing actually does? And for the most part, it's kind of factually correct, which is, I'm not going to say unusual in cartoons because there are educational cartoons and animes out there, amongst, other, television shows and, outlets for video. This, I'm not going to rate this high, I'm not going to rate this too high or low because of my personal attachment with it. I did like this episode because, it did show a different side of something that I'm not going to say is a taboo, but people are scared to, talk about when they're dealing with. And I'm like Crispy. I have seen other episodes that I enjoy more. I do enjoy this one. Don't get me wrong, but there are other ones that I'm like, wow, that was really something. I've never thought, that's what happens when like I scratch my hand or I get a sinus infection and whatnot. And I'm going to give this episode a 7.5. I'm leaning more toward an 8, but I do have some episodes that I would put above this just in terms of enjoyment and entertainment. So I'm going to stick with a solid 7.5. Maybe if I rewatch it again, I'll give it that 8.
Yeah. I think we're all fair in our assumptions and our ratings.
And this was the movie I've been waiting to recommend this one for a while. I couldn't think of a good short until I got on Netflix. I was like, oh wait, there's sales at work. This will be perfect because we're gonna go to the inverse now of animation with the human body with live action with Osmosis Jones. And Josh, I want you to take the reins for this one.
Oh god.
So Osmosis Jones was released 2001, directed by the Farley brothers, which it was interesting to find out during the end credits. I was like, okay, I didn't know this was a Farley brothers film. But it's about a policeman, white blood cell named Osmosis Jones, with the help of his basically his partner Drax, a cold pill, cherry flavored. And they tried to stop a deadly virus from destroying the human body that they live in, named Frank. So that's Osmosis Jones in a nutshell.
Oh god. I remember this movie so much.
I want to clarify, I did not pick this because of the Will Smith Chris Rock slap.
I was gonna ask that. I
picked this because I watched this movie like 24 times when I was in elementary school, and it had a lot of iconic fucking freeze frame moments.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, and it's always just stuck with me. I was like, even like now, I'll think back like,
so
man,
many.
There's
so many innuendos.
Yeah, there were a lot of innuendos. Like, I had a lot of things I enjoyed about this movie. Look, I'm gonna say this. I'm over the whole Will Smith, Chris Rock thing. I'm ready for people to start talking about it. I'm ready to move on from it. The world needs to move on because gas is finally going down, and that is more fucking important than two men having an altercation over something that's kind of stupid. Because I'm not paying $4.39 for gas, and I just paid $3.79.
Have you ever thought that because Will Smith smacked Chris Rock that the gas price went down because of it?
I'm going to thank Elon Musk for pushing the Tesla electric cars because I'm pretty sure that was a big factor.
Yeah, and he's I guess he's trying to he's like one of the CEOs of Twitter, and he's trying to gain a big percentage of that. I guess that was like more BS, but I just wanted to say that. It's interesting. It's definitely interesting. I think it's pretty interesting, but I don't really use Twitter.
It's a power move for Elon because
a power move.
He's got big hands in Bitcoin because that's how he bounces back from different things.
Yeah, but that's a whole other discussion. We'll talk about Osmosis Jones. I wanted to ask you guys, did you guys see this in theaters or like when it first came out? Because for me personally, I seen it like after the fact, like on TV, like television.
Yeah, I saw it on.
That was for me,
and
TV.
VHS.
Okay.
Yeah, I was a
didn't have
TV special.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I before before we get into the movie, I just wanted to say like there's a show called, was it Ozzy and Drax or
Ozzy and Drix.
Yep.
Drix?
Yeah,
and
that
Drix.
was the cartoon that stemmed from the movie.
Yeah,
Yep.
and it stems from the movie, and I was trying to figure out, I'm like, okay, they're in Frank in
That one got
in the
transferred
movie.
because of mosquito.
Yeah. That's what I was trying to figure out. I'm like, how did
Yeah.
they get in? Okay, I gotta watch the episode.
It was
like,
it was a mosquito that takes him away, and they bring him, I think, to like a kid or something like
Hector.
I
that.
think it's like
His
the
name was
first
Hector.
episode.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
watched. I never understood that because I never seen that episode. So that's what a question I wanted to ask you guys. They go in the city of Hector. That's what I remember. And I just remember
the
there's
kid
one
slaps
episode.
them, and then like the cleanup crew on the outside found them, so they brought them into the pit, into like I believe the wound that the mosquito makes with the freaking his nose and everything. Yeah.
I just wanted to say my memory with one episode. I just remember there's a kissing episode, and he kisses a girl in a pool, and then like, what is it? Drips.
It's Drix, but he calls them Drix.
Drix. Yeah, Drix. Okay. Ozzy and Drix get transferred to the human female body, and like the whole city is all feminine. It's all girls. There's a girl mayor. Everyone's basically a girl.
Oh,
I just remember that was an interesting episode. So I just wanted to mention that show before we continue on. But okay.
I was gonna recommend the show, but I was like, I think
I was hoping
it would be a much more fun watch.
I was wondering. I was like, I was kind of thinking in the back of my mind. I was like, I wanted to watch the show.
Where is this show? I want to know because it's not on It's on HBO Max. And I'm really pissed.
I saw like parts on YouTube.
It might be on YouTube somewhere.
Yeah, I saw parts. It might be on that one porn website where we watched that Ghostbusters cartoon.
Oh God.
Well, if you can find all of like JoJo's on Pornhub, so you can probably find Ozzy and
where we watched Extreme Ghostbusters.
Oh my gosh.
What did you think about the movie?
It was, it was a good trip, like going back to this film, because I don't think I would ever like really decide to go back and choose to watch this movie. Not like it's a detriment to the movie, but like I guess I would watch it if it was like on, but like it was never a movie I would just like go like, yes, I have to watch this now, and like finding out that it's directed by the Farley brothers, like especially I guess they directed the human segments, definitely made sense, and it was cool to see Chris Elliott and Bill Murray in a scenes together after like it was almost like a Groundhog Day like reunion, and I thought that was pretty cool. And obviously they're probably the Farley brothers are probably big fans of that movie Groundhog Day, so that's probably why that was a big part of why they got Bill Murray and Chris Elliott in the film. So I thought that was pretty cool, like to see that like little Groundhog Day reunion. I'd never really thought of that until like now. And the stuff I was saying, like with the design for the last segment that we were talking about, this is like exactly what I want the city to look like. Like it actually shows like the blood cells and the cities, and it feels like it's very organic and how it incorporates its city design and the organic side of like the human body, and they kind of coexist, and they're one thing, and they have a lot of jokes throughout the film that are pretty funny, like little subtle adult jokes too. I can't really think of any off the top of my head. I probably should have wrote some down while I was watching it, but this was a movie I was just watching. I wasn't taking any notes, and I was just like taking it in, and I just like felt like I was like back in like middle school again, just watching it. I was like, this is something I haven't watched in fucking forever, like a very long
Mhm.
time. So it was a good trip.
Yeah, I have my movies that are like not my feel good movies, but movies I'm like, you know what? I haven't watched this movie in like 18
Yeah.
years. Let me go watch it. Because okay, so I'm
This
gonna
was
give
one of them. Yeah.
I'm gonna give like a quick thing that I never knew about this movie. So I didn't know that Molly Shannon was in here. And so I'm like watching the movie as a kid. I
Oh,
never put it together that she was in fucking Snow Buddies because I watched all like the Snow Buddies, like Air Bud movies.
okay.
I was like,
Yeah, yeah.
why does she look familiar? And so that's one thing that I really liked because I thought she was a pretty good actress back when I was a kid. I might go watch something else that she's in. I think she's in like 30 Rock or something else that was a sitcom that I caught.
I know she's in a lot of SNL stuff, and I know she's in a
Yeah.
lot of stuff with Will Ferrell.
Because I also saw her in Living Color. Which was
yeah,
cool.
she might be in there. I don't know. Oh, she's in the Grinch. She's like the mom in the Grinch, the Jim Carrey one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I never thought she was funny, but I never like hated her. So I don't know. So that's my thought on Molly Shannon.
One thing I thought was super interesting doing my research on this movie. So it had a budget of 70 million and it only grossed 14.
Oh shit.
Ooh.
That's
So
crazy.
it didn't even break even.
What?
I was like, that's crazy.
I never knew this was a bomb.
I never would have figured this as a bomb because the animation for it was
It's good.
It was good. I'm not gonna say it was bad, but for 2000,
I don't think it's
holds
bad.
up.
Yeah, no,
animation, I like it. And then the way they're talking and stuff is like they're still in like the 90s. So we know in 2001 we're obviously still coming out of the 90s and whatnot.
It was like
But
the 90s until like 2005. That's when the 90s kind of stopped.
Yeah,
took a while.
Like how everything as far as like the cells inside Frank's body talk to each other, dressed, even with how the villain Thrax would kind of carry himself. It was almost like being in a 90s movie. I was like, man, this takes me back because everybody had the sunglasses on. They were walking real kind of fast and leaned back, and I'm like, this is so weird because I remember people doing this.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. That villain is embedded in my head. Like I remember this villain.
It's smile. It's the smile.
The whole thing, the whole getup, the whole thing, the act. I remember his voice. I remember the things he does. I like this. I don't even care. Like if I forget that show, I will still remember this fucking villain. It's iconic.
Yeah, Thrax was voiced by Lawrence Fishburne. I didn't know that. I'm just looking at IMDb now.
There's a lot of nice actors that are in this movie, and I'm like, you have
I have no idea.
You have a pretty solid cast, and the movie bombed.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and especially
of course there's Bill Murray because that was still very young Bill Murray.
Well, especially I think this movie made more of its money in the VHS
aftermath.
The aftermath, the VHS era, or DVD sales and TV showcasing. I feel like because there's no way if this movie didn't get resurgence or actually made money after the fact, they would have made a show. There's no way. And it's kind of this was kind of the era of movies that could be released in theaters and then make their money back through DVD sales. So this is, I guess it kind of makes sense, but I would have never thought of it as a bomb. That's interesting.
I understand
more. Oh, go ahead, Crispy.
Well, I was gonna say I would understand with the human cast, the story there wasn't the most interesting.
Yeah,
because it's such a kid's story that they just basically made so much plot hole and bullshittery happen during the human lifestyle, like the real lifestyle thing. When then like everything was really happening in the more of the cartoons, like that's where it is. So I get where people would kind of like not enjoy that part, but there was kind of like an actual real story meeting in the human story too, at the fact. So it's kind of like weird. Like I kind of get like how it couldn't work and how it could work with that with people like grown ups that were watching it and all that stuff. But kids should have been just eating up the whole thing when they're
That's
watching
what I was
this.
going to get into, because people said like the animation and like the animated parts, that's what hooked them in. And then the live action is what kind of turned them off. But I'm with Crispy. I'm like, for me, I was more engaged with the live action parts because, you see Bill Murray playing, an unhealthy, dad, and his daughter's trying to tell him, Dad, I want you to, get healthy for me so, you can be around a long time so I can be with you, because she's, just lost her mother to sickness. I'm going to assume recently, maybe within a year.
I would say, within that year or two.
And so, outside of that, we also get like, you see Bill Murray like eat oysters that are obviously bad, and he starts ralphing and all over the place on the teacher, and then he's got like that zit that pops on her face, and you see him like just have a very unhealthy lifestyle for the majority of the movie. Obviously it has to do with the sentient cells within his body, but it was like, you could tell he obviously wanted to do right for and by his daughter and set a good example for her. But it was like on the inside, he couldn't do it because there were other powers to be that were like, he's fine. Like, sure, he's got high cholesterol and high blood pressure. He can walk it off. We're going to go to Buffalo, New York and have fucking wings with the 99 wings with 128 dipping sauces. And I'm like, that's very, like, I'm a pretty healthy guy, but like, even before I started getting healthy, like the thought of just thinking about that, I'm like, God, that just, like, I could just feel the years being shaved off my life eating all that chicken and like sauce.
I don't know. That I would go to that. That sounds kind of fucking awesome.
It does sound awesome, but I'm like, I can't do that.
Well, in this movie, it makes
you could eat worse. Yeah, it does. You could eat worse things than chicken wings. I'll tell you that.
True, but like, there's like
Buffalo. I would do it. I would go. You guys, we're planning a trip. We're going to Buffalo. that's.
If they really have that freaking fair,
they have to. They have to. There's no fucking other way. That's where they came from. They fucking have to. And if we go, we might see Bill Murray, so it'll be worth it.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Well, I was just gonna kind of revert a little bit. So I'm. This is. I mean, it still has to do with the movie, but like, I feel like this era of Bill Murray, like 2001 or like even like later 90s, I feel like this would have been like the perfect time. I know we keep talking about this, but this would have been the perfect time to do like a Ghostbusters 3. So they should have done Ghostbusters 3 around this era.
Got Ghostbusters inside his body.
God.
That wasn't ghosts. They were blood cells. And Lawrence Fishburne as I don't know, as AIDS or whatever he was. I mean, they got
what?
There's
no AIDS in this movie.
Okay. So the reason why I thought of AIDS is because, this is how he gets Thrax in his body. He works at a zoo. He lost his job initially because all this taboo from the science fair of the him throwing up on Molly Shannon's teacher character at Shane, the daughter's science fair. And he loses his job. Then Chris Elliott's character gets him a job at the zoo. So he's like, okay, fast forward, whatever. We're at the zoo. This is like basically our introduction to Frank, like to show how gross he is. He has a hard-boiled egg. He's eating it, and then like a chimpanzee takes it, and then like the chimp eats it, and then he smacks the monkey, and then he gets the egg out of his mouth, and he eats it, and then like
Oh man, this is bad. It's bad.
So I was thinking the reason why I thought of AIDS is because they heard
monkeys have AIDS, and that's where we got it.
Huh?
Yeah, that's where we got it from, like eating bushmeat or something like that. And like I think there's actually like a little bit of truth to it. I don't know how like what the actual thing is, but like that's the only hypothesis that's like actually been said. That's like, oh yeah, this is probably where it came from. So that's why I thought of it, because I was like, oh, there's a chimpanzee transferring.
I was thinking the exact same thing, and I was like, I feel like I thought Crispy was gonna say it instead of you, John.
No, I was gonna talk about the animal abuse.
Somebody else says it.
I was gonna talk about the animal-human abuse in this movie at that moment, where he's like choking the fucking monkey, and then the monkey says, "Bitch, please," and starts smacking him against the cage.
Actually, technically,
that's what I was gonna talk about.
Chimpanzees aren't monkeys; they're apes. So
the apes. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
I mean, monkey is a funnier word, so I get it.
But I want to chime in because you said you're talking about Thrax. Lawrence Fishburne. I absolutely loved him as Thrax. He does like such a great voice job. He projected was very like it was very cynical and sadistic, especially before he starts, using the fucking the eye finger and start.
That's cool.
And he starts fucking slicing people. I'm like, God, just the voice alone just makes me shiver with fear.
I didn't know that was Lawrence Fishburne. I had no idea.
And then whenever he does the smile and he does the fucking Batman.
Freaking fucking lizard smile.
Yeah, like a bat out of the Frank's mouth.
Oh my God. I
don't see how they got away with that, because that's a very obvious Batman reference.
Well, this is Warner Brothers. This is Warner Brothers, so they own both.
Oh, that's right. Warner Brothers did do this.
Yeah, but I mean, like, it's not like you can't say it's just Batman. It could be like a vampire, like homage. Like you could say like Dracula. I think it's not like specifically Batman, but it's close. For sure. It's definitely Batman.
Like, this movie should have got like a PG-13. I would have bumped up the rating to PG-13 for this movie. And made the human story a lot better to get with the older crew.
I get that.
And because what he was doing was slashing, he was just killing everything. He was just doing whatever he had to do.
Violence.
Yeah. Very.
So much. This movie to be PG. You see
him murdering characters.
You see him like blow stuff up and commit like terrorism and murder and arson.
100%. Well, like it's not like it's shown off screen either. Like the murder is on screen. Like you see these characters exploding and blowing up.
Like the murder in the sauna, in the armpit. The murder in the armpit.
Backed up the Don. I'm like, how he killed the Don?
And let him go right down the drain.
He killed Marlon Brando. Like that's what happened. He killed the Godfather.
I was like, holy shit. And like, God, like it was like there was like so much shit. Like even the the explosion where like he lit. Remember that they're talking about like, yo, let's go and like incubate for a little bit and let's relax and shit. He burnt down the shack. He burnt down the warehouse.
That virus is like he was like, you can go incubate yourself, and then he just walks out and he's like,
all cool and shit.
He's doing the smile. He's doing I swear.
The lizard, man. The lizard smile. The T-Rex is smiling.
I had no idea this was Lawrence Fishburne, because like, I mean, he definitely has that presence of Lawrence Fishburne, but like his voice, he sounds like, I thought he was like a younger actor. I almost thought he was like, I don't know, like some rapper or something. I'm like, I could see some rapper doing this voice, but I had no idea it was Lawrence Fishburne.
He's been in like that character is in like the back of my head for like ever as like a villain selection. As a villain selection, if I wanted to like pick a villain, he's in like my top 100 at least, somewhere close.
Oh,
to
obviously.
the beginning.
Lawrence
What
Fishburne, Keith David, Patrick Stewart. I would love to see them voice villains and just go at it.
Yeah.
Oh God,
That'd be cool.
What? This
What
is
happened?
What'd you find
I did
out?
not know that. Okay, so I'm just gonna shout out a couple of actors that are in here. So Kid Rock is one of the kidney
I
people.
saw that.
Is he the rapper that's in like the bar? Or no?
No. William Shatner is the mayor.
Yeah, that makes sense. It does sound like
Brandy is his assistant, the black R&B singer.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Okay.
It says Ron Howard. Who's Ron Howard? Which character was Ron Howard? Who's Tom Kolonic or Colonia?
Oh, is that the guy running for the mayor? Is that the second guy?
Oh, the other one?
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay, I could see that. Huh. That's interesting.
And then who else? There's somebody else on here that I was really surprised to see. Hold on.
Oh, Will Smith played Trix?
No, shut up. Shut up.
Okay.
Shut up. Get out. Delete yourself. You're canceled.
All right, you're canceled. I slap you, bitch.
What the hell?
Matt left.
But yeah, this movie definitely had a lot of like really good actors in it. So I was just like, I went through the cast. I'm like, how this movie bombed is just beyond me. Because I mean, here in Nashville, Kid Rock is kind of an icon because he's got a honky tonk and I think something else that he does. I know he does stuff around Christmas time for families who are, in need.
I'm not gonna lie,
he's
just banished himself.
So just kind of seeing Kid Rock in there, I'm like, man, this movie has so many like great people in it.
Yeah, Kid Rock.
I thought Kid Rock would have been in the Zit because that the rapper, the performer looks just like what he would look like.
I think that was
as an organism.
Yeah.
I was like, that's a perfect doppelganger, but whatever. But and the Zit was another thing that could have been a PG-13 movie too. All girls walking around in like thongs and shit. The dance.
That was obviously a go-go club because they were dancing in like the tube cages things. Yep. And they were basically just in bikinis. I'm like, as a kid, this is not appropriate.
No, after seeing this more, I'm like, shit, this is definitely 90s. Definitely 90s setup.
The design of the world and the angles when they're showing like the city and the streets and like especially like the driving chase scene in the beginning when he's chasing like that like little insignificant virus like in the beginning with that like that car chase. It reminded me a lot of another film that Jerry recommended. It reminded me of Cool World. I was getting a lot of Cool World vibes watching this movie. And I was like, holy shit, and I think I agree with Matt if like they amped it up to a little bit like of a PG-13 and like made the Bill Murray stuff like just a little more grittier, I guess. I think it would have sit better with audiences, like I guess like the older demographic, and kids still would have watched it. I mean, it's a cartoon. Like, kids would have watched it regardless. So I think you're right with Matt. With that, Matt, I think if they made it a little more grittier, maybe a little more like a grittier, like kind of like Cool World, like in that regards, like the raciness or like the risqueness. But I mean, not the story wise, but like just the style, I guess, and just like some of the themes. But
like the one thing I do like about in this world is that the body flow, like the way the body flows in the cities. So like you get like different angles and stuff. So like when they went down the mouth, they actually felt free fall into the city of the stomach and all that stuff and like all that junk. It was the way how the body would have been. And so like in Cells at Work, you're just like you go down. You're just basically just going through city to city. There's no real differences. And this one, you
my
see the
issue with
differences. This
Josh,
one, you see like the
funny
evolution.
that this reminded you of Cool World because the live action and animation reminded me personally of Who Framed Roger Rabbit, just because of the style.
Yeah, I could see that. There's not like in Who Framed Roger Rabbit, it's more apparent. Like there's more animation and like they're actually interconnected. Like he's actually reacting to the cartoon world. In this movie, it's more like here's the cartoon world, and then here's like the real life world, kind of like Cool World, how that worked. It was like real world, cartoon world, and then they almost kind of intermingled like at the end, and that's kind of like how it was with Cool World in this movie. So that's why I thought more of Cool World than
I didn't think about Cool World, but now that you say it, I can definitely see it because I was thinking, man, this is reminding me a lot of Who Framed Roger Rabbit, just because it's like live action and then not the same animation style, but you know, kind of that back and forth between almost immediately.
Am I the only one that wasn't thinking that? I was just like, this is Osmosis Jones, and I'm just watching it. So I just said to myself.
Well, I just mean like more like the design of the city. I wouldn't be surprised if they got some inspiration from.
I can definitely see
probably
Cool World,
like especially like the angles of the city when they're like showing that extravagant police chase, and it's like it's like a weird angle too. It's like above the city skyline, like basically like looking down. Yeah, it's a weird different angle that you could only pull off with animation. I feel like Cool World did a lot of similar stuff like that. So I thought that was.
I know for sure the zit is definitely pulled from Cool World when Hollywood was dancing in the club and whatever, and she was half naked. That is 100. I don't care if it is or it isn't. That's 100% derived from Cool World.
Yeah, no. Now I kind of want to watch these as like back-to-back films. You know, Cool World, just to kind of see similarities. I think that would be an interesting watch. I feel like you get more similarities for sure.
That might be something I do. You just gave me an idea that I might try. I might take it up a notch and do like Cool World, Osmosis Jones, Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Oh man, that'd be wild. That's what I was curious about. Like if we did any repeat films, because there's some stuff I talked about with Matt that I do want to talk about with you. But I'm like, am I allowed to do repeats? I'm like, I don't know. I got to think about that. So
a lot of people.
I mean, I'm doing a repeat that you guys.
Yeah, like a lot of people don't do that. They always there's others podcasts, channels that like they're like there's one channel that I watch, Dangerville. They go back and they talk about one subject, but they're like, okay, we're coming back to this subject because we got more information about it and we got other people's point of view. So we're going to talk about.
Yeah, no, that's how I feel. Like I want to talk about some stuff with Jerry. But I do want to recommend new stuff too. So it's like a hard balance. Like I'll figure it out. If it's really something I want to go back to, I will. But
this guy,
because there is something I'm gonna recommend probably in like the next 2 episodes. That's technically a repeat, depending on how you look at it. It's technically a repeat. You'll see what
I'm gonna have a talk.
Wait, before
have a talk later.
Just like as a is it like a film that you recommended repeat or a film that we recommended repeat?
Or is it a thing that
I can't give away too much because you're gonna figure out the movie that I want to recommend.
Come on.
Or is it something that me and you talked about and watched and talked about?
Yeah, is who recommended it? Did you or someone else? How about that?
It was okay. So the movie that was recommended was something that we all watched because it was when Crispy asked me if I wanted to come on. If that gives you a big hint about it.
Was it Space Jam 2?
No, it's not Space Jam.
Okay.
I can see. I think Crispy knows what the movie is.
I'm trying to go that far back again.
I don't think he remembers.
I'm trying to go back.
He knows.
Shut up.
I don't think he knows. I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about.
But I felt like I had more I wanted to say about Osmosis Jones, but I can't think.
Was it the egg monkey?
The egg monkey was definitely weird because that chimp could have easily broke Bill Murray's neck.
Yeah,
He could have
it
been
was
like,
Definitely should.
he could have gave
At
him
least
the
it was
Homer
a-
Simpson.
it
Why you
was a
little?
it was a youthful monkey. He was a youthful chimpanzee. He was a young one. Because if it was an adult, it would have just killed fucking Bill Murray. But yeah, they get
Would
the
have
young ones
ripped
to
his
act.
neck out.
That's why they get young chimpanzees to act on film and on camera, because they're still like, they're still young and cutesy and kind of listen to what the human caretaker has to tell them until they get to, I don't know, I forget what age, but until they become an adult,
Yeah. Oh, what else? Oh, this is just a small thing because this is like one of the other two freeze frame moments that I keep in my mind at all times. When Ozzy and Drix go up to the flu shot virus.
I'll be right back.
Drix,
I hear some weird shit outside my house. I'll be right back.
Oh no.
Matt's taking a shit outside his house. Matt's dog is eating another dog.
I think it's like a coyote thing, and my dogs keep on barking. I don't know what it is. I'll be right back.
Okay, goodbye. Here, we'll hide Matt so it's not empty space.
So when Drix puts his fucking cannon arm in the flu shot virus's mouth, and then it's like Ozzy's talking, he's like, see, you done messed up now. He's a psycho cop. He just got off of tryptophamine or whatever. And he just, like in the animation, he's just like, just so, it's so creepy looking because his eyes are beady and he's doing that Joker smile.
Yeah, oh
And
yeah,
I'm
okay,
like,
I kind of recall that. Yeah.
Because that when I first saw that as a kid, that did give me nightmares because he's like this
Creeped you.
big fucking floating machine pill thing.
He almost reminded me of like Buzz Lightyear, like his stature and like his gadgets and stuff,
Yeah.
Kind of gave me Buzz Lightyear vibes.
And then the other scene that I really liked a lot was when Ozzy and Thrax were fighting on the fake eyelash, and it did like the 360 like turnaround while
that was cool.
After Ozzy like gave him a kickflip, and then he's just got that Cheshire smile going on, like, yeah, I'm doing my thing. Finally, people are gonna, finally understand I'm not just this loser cop, which is something else. I think Osmosis Jones got the worst rap because every instance that he's acted has always been in Frank's best interest. Like when he ate that bad oyster, he was like, when you eat raw oysters, they say,
you made him throw up.
Parasites and shit. You might throw up. I was like, that could have definitely turned awful because I don't know if anybody's watched 1,000 Ways to Die, but there was this couple who ate live snails and they got a brain parasite and it killed them slowly.
Oh, snails. Are they apple snails? I heard about this. There's like some apple snail in like California or something. I think they're called.
I have to look
parasite, and they get in your brain, and like they just fucking
and they terrible. Just reindeer you to shreds. I'm like, that was, especially you have a parasite in the gut that can turn into anything because then they can just start eating their way out and just go anywhere like a tapeworm. And then what was that?
Oh, I just wanted to get, so what I just looked up apple snails. I don't know if this was the exact species that you're talking about, but it says if eaten raw, they can transmit a deadly parasite called rat lung worms to humans and other mammals. And I guess the parasite goes into your brain, and I guess it's called rat lung because it affects rats' lungs. But it can't recognize that a human body or its lungs, so it goes directly into the human brain.
That's
Matt, are you good, Matt? What happened?
I don't know what the fuck's happening out there.
Nah.
I just know I heard some crazy shit outside, and I get it down there. All the dogs was at my stairs. Bye, Josh. This is getting weird with you doing the flipping.
I just want to
yeah,
keep the order, you know.
No, I understand, but like
keep it consistent.
it was weird. I just kept on hearing like this weird yipping, like coyotes, like the yipping and the howling they do.
Yeah.
I just kept hearing that outside my house, and I'm trying to figure out. My dogs are all inside going crazy because they're trying to figure out what the fuck's outside.
Did they
So
eat apple snails?
No,
it's a parasite.
It's a parasite that
my
affects
God.
the brain. Did they
no,
they eat them? Well, the
Definitely
parasite in
not.
that's a snail that affects the brain. Okay. that's where we left off.
But,
okay.
Yeah, osmosis.
Okay, Jerry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, off track because I disappeared at this point. Was the movie you wanted to talk about? Is it Batman Ninja?
No, it's not
okay,
Batman
good.
Ninja.
I'm trying to remember.
It's
Thank
past
God.
Batman Ninja.
Please.
Okay, it's past.
I don't want to watch that again.
Ooh.
I don't want to watch that. That was not good.
Yeah, like every chance, like even in the beginning when Jones was like, oh yeah, there's like this minor virus, this minor germ, and he was running away, and he was like, I gotta chase him down. We all fucking know a small germ or like a small thing can always turn into something bigger. Because it's like old people say, cold, a basic cold can turn into flu, pneumonia, what the hell ever else a cold can turn into. And a common cold kills people if you didn't know. People die from the common cold. Of course, they're immunocompromised, but the common cold kills.
What's wrong with these people? They probably have some other ailments. It's probably not.
Yeah, they have other ailments, but it's like if a cold can kill, imagine what an unchecked germ is going to do. Because that's what Drax was doing. He made the body think it was, we just got a cold. We just need a cold and flu pill. When really he was trying to fucking burn the body up at 120 degrees.
Hey man, his plan was fucking great. I'm not gonna lie.
It was A1.
He was the most. That was
big brain.
What was the gland called? I want to say thymus. Hypothalamus. Yeah, I liked how he repeated it, and that's actually a true gland in the human body that does affect the human temperature. So that was pretty cool. It was like something that you learned. I almost wanted to say the thylacine gland, but that's a fucking Tasmanian tiger, and that's not a hypothalamus. That's not. That's an animal that's an extinct animal that doesn't exist anymore. Supposedly,
it only exists in videos.
Yeah, videos, and people are trying to rediscover it, but whatever. That's a whole other discussion. Hypothalamus gland, yes. So, speaking of raw oysters, I just had some raw oysters this weekend, so I didn't throw up.
Oh, the one for oysters for $1?
Yeah.
At Benjamin's.
Yeah, Benjamin's. Nice. We went to Benjamin's.
I've had raw oysters.
Those were good.
They're all right.
Oh, I love them. I could eat them all day.
Benjamin's.
The
Benjamin's oysters.
Yeah, Jerry, we gotta take you.
Gotta go to Benjamin's and Stewart's.
Yeah, I know,
no,
Matt.
This is a Rhode Island.
I was gonna ask you, Matt, if you brought Stewart's down for Jerry in New York
I was
City.
planning it. I wanted to, but I didn't know where they put it. I didn't know they had a mini.
It would have melted on the
used.
train. I don't think they have Stewart's in New York City. I think it's more of.
I don't know if they do, but once we had like a mini break session that we're all relaxing and just bullshitting around in the hotel for a second. It was about a few minutes we were in there, and I didn't know they had used to the mini fridge. I thought the mini fridge would be more like they would have stuff in it. Where I'm so used to mini fridges, they're stuff in it. You have to pay for whatever you drink out of it, all that crap. Mini fridges. I never had an empty mini fridge at a hotel or a mini fridge in my hotel. So, it was a little different. So I was like, oh, I could have brought him a little pint size Stewart's.
Yeah, what the hell, Matt? You had your
I didn't know. I didn't know.
And Jerry was supposed to bring Jerry was supposed to bring the pep.
Oh, yeah.
Crispy, did you show Josh what I brought you?
No, not yet.
I brought Crispy a little piece of Tennessee.
Oh, let me see it.
It's a flask.
Stop fucking moving.
I'm not trying to. I'm not trying. I'm trying to get the right angle so it doesn't look blurry.
Something
moonshine.
Mini moonshine. That's cool. That's like a two-shotter right there.
It's like Jerry gave this to me and he's like, "Oh, this is like a little something you can have, like a little shot." And I'm like, "Is it full?" No, you got to fill it yourself. I'm like, "God damn!" I'm like, "I need it for the city."
That would have been perfect. That would have been nice.
I was gonna try to bring some moonshine through TSA, but I was like, I don't feel like trying to light all that.
Yeah. Oh God.
But Crispy, did you have anything you wanted to add before I take us into final thoughts, reviews?
Did you guys talk about like the designs of like the organisms and what they can do? Like I love what
Jerry did a little bit.
I did a little bit.
Yeah, go ahead.
Like, I love like the thing I wanted to bring up is I love how Osmosis basically can morph his fucking body to basically any designs he would like to disguise himself. The only thing he can't do is his clothing for some odd reason that he can't like shape it to a different like style that would have not made him look the same as usual. Like if you could change his like clothing style with his like appearance, that'd be dope. But he really can't. He's not very part of him.
It's just
that was something I didn't think about. That was something I enjoyed. How malleable.
Yeah.
He was like a scratch. He was a scratch and stretch cartoon. Shit.
Yeah,
I
it was pretty freaking dope.
Scratch and sniff.
But I love how Drex is like trying to morph his head, and he just breaks his fucking head, and it's just like his eyeballs hanging out. He's like, then he puts himself back together. He's like, why couldn't I do that? Why?
And I like this. I like this disguise, like where it's just like a frozen germ on his head, and it's like obvious that he's not, an organism like that. But whatever, it was fun.
Another thing I did like to point out is like in that they're in the zit and they're up in the second floor of the zit and they're like discussing the plan of what they're gonna do, and when they find out Osmosis is like the police officer instead of being like a guy that's like a henchman, and like Drax shows up and he's like freeze, and like nobody really like cared when they did the fight fight him. Meanwhile, he's trying to undo his freaking child-proof freaking grenade that he was going to insert into his cannon. Like, nobody was going after him until that one guy's like, I'm going to use this chair. And nothing happens to him at all. And he's just like, he's still trying to fight his little pill bottle lids.
Yeah.
Until Osmosis uses the grenade to nuke basically a town. Oh God, they nuked a town.
He did nuke a town.
I mean, it was a pimple; it had to be removed, regardless.
Oh yeah, but you know what that does to everything, right? It just neutralizes everything. Like
they're all bad things. You want all that stuff out of you. You don't want that in you. You want to sit on your head?
Innocent bystanders in that town. What if that was?
Is that what you're gonna say? Is that what you're gonna say next time you have a huge zit in the middle of your forehead? You go, oh, there's innocent bystanders in that town. I'm not gonna pop it.
That zit's going. I'm just saying in the show.
No, that's what
I'm talking about.
Say. That's what it is. You're gonna say that and go like, no, innocent bystanders can't.
Oh God.
I remember you saying that in high school. No, I don't know.
Okay.
I'm just joking.
If nobody else has anything they want to add, I want to go ahead and wrap this episode up with final thoughts and ratings. And I'm going to go first on this one. I'm not kidding. I watched this movie a lot as a kid. Probably more than what should have been allowed as a child. And I didn't know that Chris Rock was in the movie until, much later. I don't really care about, it bombing because it was such a for me, it was such a cool movie and a cool idea to show, this is what happens in an unhealthy body when you eat shit off the fucking ground after like an animal licks it or puts it in its mouth. And, the fact that his daughter was the whole time like, Dad, you should try eating some carrots or, drink some water instead of some beer. I'm like, that is super relatable because I've been trying to, get people in my life to get healthy and, quit some of their bad habits. And even with, I'm not going to call it a star-studded cast, but with as many famous people as that was in this movie, this was definitely a hidden gem of the past for me because sometimes you kind of forget, like, man, this was a kind of cool concept or a cool idea for a movie. And it's just, I wish they would have done another one some kind of way outside of the cartoon to kind of tell the story of like, oh, here's what happened prior, before, the cartoon that showed how Frank got to the situation he's in now and whatnot. And I think this movie kind of fits in a lot more in today's society with how everyone's trying to do the, kick the bad habits, get healthy, and, switch up, how they have their personal habits set for, loved ones or themselves to better themselves. And I'm going to give this movie a solid 7. It was, while I do love this movie a lot, I was like, it's not as good as I was enthralled with as a kid. Watching it now as an adult, I noticed, some things are kind of stupid and could have been left out. But I do appreciate everything that was in there and left in there. So I'm going to give this a very solid 7. I'd show this to kids again.
Yeah, that's solid.
Okay. But before, okay, so Jerry, when you said like before stuff, what do you mean like before stuff? Like
before the cartoon? I don't know if you remember the first episode, Crispy, but it's like Frank, he's super overweight. He's in his house coat and stuff. He's like eating a pizza, chugging a beer, and like drinking a Coke, having a burger and fried ice cream. Like, well, I'm not all of that in that order, but he's just devolved from what the movie showed. And so I'm like, okay, well, what happened to get him to that point?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't really like that. I mean, it's just such a minor thing because they switch it off to another character anyway in that show. But like, yeah, I was looking it up after watching the movie. And like, at the end of the film, he's eating carrots, he's hiking, he's with his daughter, and then like in that cartoon, they almost like undermined whatever progress he had, and like
it was almost like he fell in a deep depression. I'm like, okay, what got him to that point? I'm like, I'd like to see that as maybe as hard as it would have been to show or talk about. I was like, that's kind of important too because that happens to people. Something happens.
I want to say,
like they go from Arnold Schwarzenegger to My 600-Pound Life over a very tragic event.
I want to say like, I don't know, maybe that's like a point where like, how people have that little hump before they get into like a better selves again, and like they kind of like from like a tragic thing they do say like they want to get there, and then like following they like, I know this tragic event is supposed to be that pushover to him getting better, but maybe there was like that little segment being in the beginning that was like a little rough, and that's when the mosquito came in and took him. It took them, and that's basically where they were. And then later on, he got healthier after that little like day or two, like day bump or two bump, because in his house he still has all that fast food and beer shit. So he probably just picked it right back up again because it's in the house. He didn't want to make it go waste. I don't know.
You could say anything. You could say, "Oh, this took place before they went hiking." Like, I don't know.
That's what I'm trying. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
that's what I'm trying to say. Is like it's like that little bump, like maybe a little turbulence area before they went on that
It
adventure.
It just made me want another movie to see, like, what was the progression of Frank? Like,
Because
do they clean up the city some more? Does he combat another, near fatal ailment and whatnot?
Does he get AIDS?
Shut up.
He fight AIDS. Can he fight AIDS? Can Osmosis Jones kill AIDS?
Yeah, for real.
Oh my god!
I think he can. I think he could do it.
What if that's like his fight? He's fighting AIDS and he gets abducted by the mosquito, so he never gets to finish it.
That's why they canceled the show, because the last episode was AIDS, and they're like, "Oh, we can't show this," and they pulled the show.
No. Well, like I was gonna say, with like a tragic thing in the movie, this movie is definitely like probably when he lost his wife and then he lost his job, probably in the same year. And then he's working as a zookeeper. That's probably like the issue why he went down this spiral of shit, probably more.
Because he was cleaning shit.
Yes.
Yeah.
With the two dumbest animals in the world. Oh god. But for me to rate this, I'm with Jerry with I'm indecipher. I'm with I want to be like a 7. But I want to say a 7.5 because I really love the animation. I really do. It's like the animation was not. It still holds up and it does really good job. Like it's not bad. It's just like the thing that did it for me was more like it was more the human acting. Like they could have done like a better like setup for them more, or because it was such a kid's story that it wasn't like towards us. So like it wasn't like a strong built storyline for us. So like that's where I'm like, if they could have if they built that stronger, like on the outside more, because it was before like I said, bumped this up to PG-13, I would enjoy that more. Maybe it could have been an 8 for me, but like the thing is like that brought me more to this is like the character designs and like the artwork and everything they had and what they put into like the whole body, the inside of Frank, the body. And how much they just shot with it. I was like, it's not bad. And including in the cartoon, it kind of carried over. The animation style probably went down, but the way
they didn't
it
have
went,
as much of a budget.
Yeah. But it went down, but like the same concept of like how the body and the buildings and everything was designed was basically the same-ish throughout the show. So I kind of like that. So I'm like, I'll just go up. I'm going to go with nice 7. Let's say a 7 for now.
I can agree with that. I do agree about the live action part of the story. It definitely could have been more drawing outside of, what they gave us. And it did leave me wanting a touch more, not a whole lot more, because then it would have took away from what was happening inside of Frank.
It was a lot of bouncing around. There's a lot of bouncing. There were straightforward like segments, but like they had to keep bouncing us back and forth to flashbacks to bring up this point that happened. Why Frank can't hang out with her field trips? They should have had something that happened in the storyline to make Frank not happen, like in the straight line storyline instead of like, remember this flashback to you threw up on my teacher. Now she has a restraining order on you. You can't be near her. Like, can't be 200 feet near her. Like, oh yeah, how do I tell that to my daughter? Like, I'm like, I can't be near her teacher. Like,
bless you.
There's so much all that stuff in
Someone
this movie.
pollen.
Bless you.
Thrax threw pollen in my nasal cavity.
You mean Oz?
What?
No,
Thrax does that.
No, Oz did it.
No, it's Thrax.
Thrax did it too.
Yeah, you genius.
All right.
Were you watching
the first accident was sorry. I'm thinking of the first incident, the non-planned.
Jerry, you have garlic?
Oh no.
Got something.
Oh my God.
It's something because my eyes are just going crazy.
On fire.
Okay.
All right, let's
Josh,
wrap
what
this
about
up.
you?
Yeah, let's wrap this up before Jerry cries. There's only 2 things I wanted to mention before I get into the rating. Well, I guess 2 things. The daughter Shane, I thought she was like pretty decent for like a child actor. She wasn't great, but like she was pretty decent. I think she emoted exactly what needed to be emoted for that
They kind
tone,
of made her a
especially.
little. They kind of made her a little grown up with her character,
Yeah, she was a
in
little too
like her
smart.
role of the house.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I mean, I think she kind of had to take the place of the mom because she died. So it was just like
Hmm.
she grew up a little bit from that episode, from that trauma, I guess. And she had to be the mom of Bill Murray's character. But there's a scene where she's on the bus and she's trying on those fake eyelashes, which come into play later in the film. Um, and like the her friends on the bus are going round and round, and they they grab the fake eyelash and they put it on her face, like, "Oh, hey Shane, look, we got these fake eyelashes. This is cool." And then she's like, "Oh, sure, whatever. I don't give a fuck. Just put it on my face." And they put it on her face. They stick it on her eye, and then she like smiles because it's like not really on the eyelash. It's like in the middle of her eyelid. And then she looks directly at the camera and then like smiles back at her friends. And I just like thought that was funny. I was like, "Why are you looking
Oh,
at the
yeah.
camera? Why just get out of here?" But
Maybe
that was all
was
the
their.
that was
Like,
the
that's
best take they had. That was the best. That was the closest eyelash
maybe that's the
they
best
probably tried
take,
to
or
keep.
that's like the third, like the fourth wall breaking. Like,
The,
I can't believe this is happening.
No, yeah, and I guess in the show Ozzy and Drix, Phil Lamar plays Osmosis Jones, which is pretty interesting. He also known as Samurai Jack and Green
Who's
Lantern from
Oh,
the
in Green
Justice
Lantern
League.
and Justice League?
Yeah, which John Stewart Green Lantern. Which I mean, he does
Not
a
Hal
bunch of other
Jordan.
stuff, but yeah. So he's a really good actor. I mean, from what I remember, it sounded like Chris. What the fuck, Chris
Yeah,
Rock?
they weren't far off. They weren't. Their
Yeah,
voices
like,
weren't
they were
that far
pretty
off.
similar.
from what I remember, I haven't seen the show in a while. I almost said Chris Farley, but yeah,
Oh my
he could
God.
play him too. He could, Chris Farley. He could play Shrek. But
There we go. More Shrek, Jerry.
well, Chris Farley almost played Shrek, so that's why I said that. But then he died. So yeah, this movie was pretty good, pretty entertaining. It was a good throwback. I wouldn't say it's perfect by any means. You know, it's definitely entertaining. I think if it went up like PG-13, I think it would have been a more like fun movie, even if they did like a Who Framed Roger Rabbit kind of like not tone, but just how that was like more of a riskier movie. They had more adult jokes like for each segment. I mean, this one had some adult jokes, but it was like more subtle. It's only through the cartoon stuff, and then the live action stuff was just kind of like there's nothing too gritty about the live action stuff. Like nothing that was like, oh, that was shocking. You know, it was just like throw up humor, fart humor, pimple humor. You know, just gross out humor. It wasn't anything like whoa, I can't believe they did that kind of thing, or you know, it was just like kind of like first base like comedy. It was just gross out humor basically. So I mean, I would give this a 6.5 out of 10.
Okay.
I think that's all fair. I agree a lot with what you said. I agree.
That works.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, we close out. Matt, if you want to go ahead and give us your picks for next episode.
Okay, so I've been dying to do this. We've been doing comparison movies for a while, and I've been just getting into like the Godzilla mood. Finally, like a lot of shit. Like I've been watching like a lot of videos and some other like seeing like some figurines and like thanks to our friend, me and Jerry's friend Jimmy. He's been sending me these albums of soundtracks like they've been like putting out on this website. So I'm gonna recommend us watching the 1954 original Godzilla. That's in
cool.
Japanese.
Okay.
And then the American edition that came out in 1956, Godzilla: The King of Monsters. There is about 10 to 11 minute difference of runtime. Then if you do want me to give you a short, I do have a short. It would probably if you guys want me to give you a short, if you guys down.
I want to do the comparison. I think that's cool.
Just do the comparison.
Wait, hold on. I'm coming.
I know. You're coming back. I know. You can come back to us. I know you're listening.
What's the
I'll bring it up when you get back. Get back here. Come on.
I wanted to show something, and it's taking me forever.
Okay.
Oh, here it is.
If you guys are down with adding,
I have it. I have the soundtrack. I have it. Look. I have it.
I know you're fucking lucky. You're so fucking lucky.
It took me a while to find it. But
wait,
Matt's are more fancy than this one that he was sending.
Yeah. My question is is that one is the vinyl just standard black or is it different colors and stuff? Have you even opened it?
No, it's just standard black. I don't think it's anything.
Okay.
Yeah, it is. I have to fix my record player.
Right now I have. Oh, that sucks.
Okay, so wait. So it's the original Japanese version and the 1954 American.
Yes, they're both on HBO Max.
Okay.
They're both on HBO Max. One's just called Godzilla in 1954.
Yeah.
Gojira. And then you got Godzilla, the King of Monsters, 1956. That's the American edition.
What about Gorilla Whale?
Shut up. I know what you mean. I know that's what it is. I know. I know it is. It's kind of funny, actually.
Yeah.
They should make
Godzilla fight like a gorilla whale fucking monster. They should make that.
We're giving them ideas. Toho, pay us.
Come on, make them fight an actual gorilla whale. It's like a giant. No. It needs to be a fucking whale, like a blue whale body with fucking limbs of a gorilla. That's what it needs to look like, and the pecs of a gorilla.
If you watch, technically, hold on. So if you, the funny thing is, if you watch Godzilla Singular Point, it's the anime on Netflix. It shows Godzilla going through evolutionary states, and he is a giant. No, he's like a giant whale crocodile form. It's not a gorilla, but he's a giant whale style. Then he evolves onto land more and develops. They kind of did a better Shin Godzilla motion, but I'm not 100% sold on that one.
I want to watch.
It's not 100%.
I heard it was good.
It's you get Godzilla more halfway into maybe 3-4 episodes in. You get him. You don't get him that instantaneously. He's a thing. He's later on. They have to give you a bunch of a few episodes of lore. But that's not I won't recommend that yet. That will be down the road.
Yeah, we'll wait on that. That's a whole other discussion. What's the short? Go ahead.
The short, I was gonna
more
go
than
with
a half hour. We're not doing it.
No, I was just gonna go with what's it called? Probably the first episode of the Godzilla show back when we were kids. That the one that
the 90s one.
19, yeah,
the 90s one.
That one actually was. It wasn't bad.
I haven't watched that in ages. I forgot
because that's just.
We'll do that. I think
let's go with the first
one. A good one. I think it's
actually.
Good. Yeah, I like it.
That show got better ratings than the fucking movie.
You know,
from what I remember, it was a very good show.
I'm actually excited for this.
It got 2 seasons, man.
Yeah, no, I remember it being pretty decent for what I remember. I'm just happy you didn't pick an anime. I was really expecting it, but thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
I was trying to find the Hanna-Barbera ones.
Yeah,
every time I find it, it's in parts. It's part 1. Here's part 2, and I'm I don't want you guys watching parts. I'm there's no need. I'm I need to find you as whole. I'll try to find the whole ones later, somewhere down the line. But
okay. Well, yeah. All right. Well, if you don't want to be spoiled for Godzilla 1954, the original version and the American version, please be sure to watch that. And are we doing the pilot of the 90s cartoon?
If you guys are down for that short.
Yeah, we'll do the pilot
as the short.
Yeah, we'll do the pilot as a short, unless Matt picks something else. But So
No, we're gonna stay with that.
Okay,
We're gonna
okay.
stay with. We're gonna stay
Okay.
with the 1998 off-branching series Godzilla
Okay.
that we had.
Before we close out, I just wanted to mention before we're gonna do this Radio Superman basically comic book adventure serial or whatever we're gonna do. We might need some cast members for certain roles. So I mean, obviously it'd be us three, but we need some female characters and other roles. So if you guys want, well, I don't know. We'll put something on Instagram once we're actually
You
doing
have
it.
to audition.
You have to audition or just be a friend of the podcast or something. So we'll do something. Yeah, so that's it.
So if you don't want to be spoiled for the Godzilla movies short, make sure to watch it before the next episode. And if you would like to be a featured guest when we do the radio show BatYard style, go ahead, start your voice acting lessons, start singing in the shower, because we're going to be doing this with Extreme Prejudice.
Yeah, no,
Yep.
this will be really fun. I have we'll have to discuss which one we want to do. I guess we should start out with the first comic book as the starter, but like I have other ones in this booklet that I would like to do that are pretty fun. So we'll figure it out.
Yeah. And as we wind down, everybody, it's time to say goodbye. 3, 2, 1. This has been Jerry, guiding you all with Green Lantern's light.
And I am so weird, but I was saying, and I am Superman's pal, Mateo, and
yeah, I'm Josh from BatYard Productions, sending you off up and away until next BatYard's finest episode.
And we are becoming super pals, one episode at a time. Good night, everybody. Thank you.
Good night.
Good night. Thank you for joining us. Please.